Hello, Bill McRae here from Bulletproof Email Marketing Solutions. I would like to talk to you a little bit about how a traditional autoresponder that you're probably familiar with, like Aweber, GetResponse, Lead System, any host of them out there, SendLane, how they operate and how that's different than someone that does data or a self-hosted server like I have. How this works is if you go to Aweber or GetResponse, I'm going to use those two primary examples. When you sign up for an account, you are essentially assigned somehow or another an IP address. Now, it's just a regular web IP address like you've heard before, like 192.92.60.12 or whatever it is. And that IP address represents where you're going to be sending. Now, it doesn't really work that way. You're not actually assigned it. Your orders are assigned to specific ones, depending on what they are, size, a whole host. It's not one thing, but just to simplify it, you're working with an IP address, but it's not dedicated to you. It's shared amongst a bunch of users. Now, an IP address, a good IP address that is set up with a great SMTP server and aged is worth a lot of money because if it's really done well, deliverability is great. Now, in my case, I have 512 dedicated IP addresses in my autoresponder business that I own. Okay. Now, when you log into your Aweber account, you may have 60 other people using the same IP address you're using at the time you're sending your messages out. Now, why is this important? Why do you care? Well, basically, you really don't have to care if it's sending autoresponders instead of broadcasts because your autoresponders are less of a problem. They tend to go out at scheduled times and not all at one time. And they tend to be more a variety of messages. It's the broadcasts that are the problem with the IP address because it's 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 emails at one time with one message going at one boom, tidal wave, boom. So your broadcasts are the problem where your autoresponders tend to be better because there's a variety of different emails and it's going out on schedule, and you're sharing that IP address with other people that also do what we're going to call scheduled emails or autoresponder emails, as opposed to a broadcast. So why is that all important? Because when you are sending out your emails, that IP address that your email goes on is what it communicates with the individual internet service providers and the email service providers, ISPs and ESPs. You don't want to know none of this stuff, but I'm telling you now because I have a point to make here. The ISP it's like any internet provider that controls your internet connection. Like I'm on AT&T. You may be on Spectrum, whoever that is. They have a lot to say or do about the quality of the deliverability of your email and not. And the thing about being on a shared server is you may be following the rules and doing everything right, but someone else who's using that same IP address may be a spammer. And the negative points are applied to that IP address. They're applied to the individual mails that go out, but the IP address gets damaged. And so you may be doing everything right, and your neighbor could be doing a lot of spamming, and that's why your inboxing isn't working very well. So one of the solutions is to get your own private IP address. That sounds easy. I mean, you get an SMTP server like smtp.com, you sign up, you spend a bunch of money for a dedicated server, but boy, you better do everything right because unless you know how to monitor your reputation, unless you do everything right, including dealing with bounces and soft bounces, including dealing with spam complaints, blacklisting people, doing everything right, being able to respond to complaints in a way that you can prove people were added on your list legally, If you do everything right, you're going to be okay. You'll do better. Most people they just don't want to have to learn all that stuff. It's just a mountain of information to have to figure out. Get your brain around. How do I manage these complaints? How do I protect my IP address? Okay. If you do that and you manage it well, you will have superior deliverability over somebody who's using a shared IP address on GetResponse or AWeber or Sendlane or anyone else. So, and all this is fine. I mean, it's you don't need to spend that sort of money. Now, like I said, I have 512 dedicated IPs. My partner and I do bulk mail, and we know how to age these IPs up. We know when to get rid of them. When we unload our IPs, they're sold to some other idiot who wants to use them for email. But we get them virgin and build them up into great SMTP servers. And the emails I do, which is about 15 to 20,000 clicks per day, really pales in comparison to the institutional emails. This is when Walmart wants to mail out everybody, or Target does. This is what my partner does. This is the big email. So we built this business to handle two components. Okay, you're not going to want to mess with any of that stuff. So that's why I guess the message of this story is, you really want a couple things to happen for you to make money with email marketing. You want to use a good quality autoresponder like a GetResponse or an AWeber or a Sendlane. Really, there's a number of them out there, but AWeber would be the best one. And you don't want to do broadcasts. You want to set up a follow-up sequence. And I know about 10 years ago when I was making a lot of money doing product launches, everyone came to me and said, hey, will you reciprocate and email out my offer? Well, most of those offers were really crappy, but we did, and we ended up losing our autoresponders over and over again because we were delivering crap to crap and getting complaints, and they were all done with broadcasts. When I switched everything over to straight forward autoresponder sequence, someone comes to me and says, I want you to mail my offer. The answer is no. I'll stick your offer in my autoresponder sequence. As I put new people into the sequence, they'll work their way to your offer. But the ego gets in the way here from making money. But in all pure honesty, JV contests are like the worst thing to ever happen to email, because what you have, the guy wants to win the $5,000 or have his name on the leaderboard, or be walking around fluffing his shirt out or whatever. The ego gets in the way, and so they do a lot of stupid things that make a lot of money today and get that notoriety and reputation today at the expense of maintaining their business in the long run. So the product launch thing, the way I handle that is, if you got a decent product, and there's some really good ones out there, I'm going to plug your offer into my autoresponder sequence, and I don't care how long it gets, because I treat my list members with respect. If you're on my SOAD list, you get SOADed to death. But if you're on my product list, like I'm doing the product launch with this product, Bulletproof Email Solutions, you're going to get an email, maybe 4 a week, and it's going to be some good products that we're going to be promoting. And it's all going to be done through the email sequence. If you join today, maybe in 6 weeks, you're going to get the email on joining CV Passive. And I'm not going to send you out the product launch that's hot right now, because I could care less about who's hot and who's not. I want to make money in the long run. And this is the way it works for everybody. If you feel like you have to use a prepackaged, let's say a business opportunity where all the emails are laid out for you, the best thing to do then would be to import those emails into something like ClickFunnels, and then use a really good SMTP server like SendGrid or something else. And don't broadcast, just let them run. If you run their emails through their system, their platform, some of them are very good, but a lot of them have problems getting deliverability. You're going to be building a lot of email lists, and then a lot of these product vendors, what they do is, it's your lead, your list, but they co-register those leads into their own list, and you find out that you just spent a lot of money building someone else's list. So that's all I want to share with you right now. You guys have a great day. Thank you.